Good day, everybody. Saturday, the 25th of July, 2020. Guess what? Hannah has just become a hurricane this morning. Hurricane Hannah. The winds are 75 miles per hour. The minimum central pressure, 982 millibars. Located just a several hundred miles from hitting the coast. It's at 27.1 north, 96.0 west, moving at 9 miles per hour to the west. Once again, Hannah now this morning has just become a hurricane. Now, when we come down to Tropical Storm Gonzalo, it's looking like it's not going to intensify any, folks. The winds are 40 miles per hour, pressure 1,009 millibars. It's located 10.3 north, 59.8 west. It's moving fast at 18 miles per hour toward the west. Now, looking like we're going to see a map in a moment. Trinidad and Tobago, especially Trinidad and the Grenadines, you guys will get the most of these winds at 40 miles per hour. Please be aware of this. It's going to go off when we watch the map for the tracking, and looking like it may go on over towards Venezuela. When it's that close to the equator, it gets the Coriolis effect. It's not going to intensify anymore once it passes these islands right in here. And then we have disturbance number 1. It's still a tropical wave. It is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms a few hundred miles south of the Cabo Verde Islands. This wave is expected to move westward, during the next several days, and it could become a tropical depression early next week when it reaches the western tropical Atlantic. In a couple of days, it's a 0, but in 5 days, it's jumped up to 50%. It was 30, it was 40, and now it's 50% chance. Remember, all of this can change. We have highs, we have lows, we have sheer wind, we have dry air, and we have other factors that all put together, combined, change these things in just a matter of hours. But as of now, it looks like everyone in the northern section, you need to pay attention to this. Like yesterday evening when I checked on this disturbance number 1, looked like it was going to go over this way and then up this way. This morning, it looks like it may bounce back down. But the northern windward islands, you guys need to be aware of this, because as early as next week sometime, it could be approaching you. So please be aware of this. It's looking like now it could come down and affect Jamaica, but the moral of the story is, in a week's time, it looks like the center is going to be right around here. So we're going to have to watch and see what happens. If you remember in the update last evening, I said it could go in the Gulf, it could go straight up, or it could come out and go up the coastlines. That's still all up in the air, and we're going to have to watch it and see what happens. So please be aware of this and stay safe. Here's a tracking map from the National Hurricane Center for Hannah, and everyone, for any of these storms, no matter where they are occurring, please listen to your local authorities and check on your local weather forecast, okay? Stay safe. Do what they tell you. Of course, here is Hannah. We all know it's going to hit the southern coastline of Texas as a hurricane. Then it will disintegrate by tomorrow, and then right down to a tropical depression as it goes into Mexico. Hannah has become the first hurricane of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. It's about 100 miles east-southeast of Corpus Christi, Texas. The winds once again now are 75 miles per hour, and the pressure is 29.00 inches. It's moving about 9 miles per hour to the west. Now, so far as watches and warnings, you guys already know what's happening with this, but I will go over it. I hope everyone over the past few days have prepared for this. Storm surge warning in effect for Port Mansfield to Sargent, Texas. Hurricane warning in effect for Ports Mansfield to Mesquite Bay, Texas. Tropical storm warning in effect all the way in all of these islands and countries in Mexico, or I should say their independencies, in Mexico to Port Mansfield, Texas, and to Mesquite Bay to High Island, Texas. Now, the storm surge, this is the water rising, of course. Storm surge is one of the worst things that can happen. I lived through it. You guys know I did with Florence. You saw what happened. That was all storm surge. Now, it's looking like there is a danger of some life-threatening inundation from the rising water moving inland from the coastline during the next 24 hours. Okay? We will check this graphic out, so please be aware of this. And when we get down to the main hazards, this storm surge will be somewhere in the indicated area of peak surge that will occur at the time of high tide, looking like Ports Mansfield, Baffin Bay, 2 to 4 feet, Baffin Bay to Sargent, Texas, including Corpus Christi Bay. You see all of the different areas here, 3 to 5 feet. The mouth of the Rio Grande to Port Mansfield, 1 to 3 feet. And north of Sargent to High Island, Texas, including Galveston Bay, 1 to 2 feet. Once again, this should happen at the time of high tide. Now, with the winds, we do have this. The hurricane conditions are expected in the warning area this afternoon. Tropical storm conditions are expected to begin in the warning area later this morning. And Hannah, with the rain, is expected to get to produce and put down 6 to 12 inches of rain with isolated maximum totals of 18 inches through Sunday night in South Texas and into the Mexican states. Now, this is going to cause flooding. Streams, rivers, every little thing's going to fill up. Please be aware. Flash flooding is no joke. 3 to 5 inches of rain is expected along the upper Texas and Louisiana coast. We all know we've got rip currents with this, and we all know that a few tornadoes are possible today and overnight over parts of lower to middle Texas and the coastal plains. And as we look at the storm surge map that we were just talking about, you can see the greatest area up from Sargent down to Baffin Bay at 3 to 5 feet, 1 to 2 feet up here around High Island to Sargent, 2 to 4 feet Baffin Bay to Ports Mansfield, and then as we go a little further down the coastline, south of Ports Mansfield, it is 1 to 3 feet. Now, as we look at the tracking for Tropical Storm Gonzalo, you can see all of the hurricane stuff is gone, period. It's not going to intensify anymore at this time. It should remain a tropical storm. Tropical storm warnings you can see on the islands here are up. Once it gets past here, it looks like it is going to be just a tropical depression as it hits the northern section of Venezuela. The government of Barbados has canceled the tropical storm warning for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A tropical storm warning, however, is in effect for Tobago and Grenada and its dependencies. So, it's looking like Tobago, Trinidad, you're going to get a little something out of this, but the watches, the tropical storm watches, once again are in effect for Tobago and Grenada and its dependencies, and looking like within the next 24 hours, this is going to be going your way. Hurricane Douglas, for all our friends in Hawaii, we have tropical storm warnings and hurricane watches up, as you can see. Looking like by Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon, I should say, tomorrow afternoon, you could have some hurricane conditions right along in here. We're going to check all of it out so you can see all of the islands a little bit better when we check where the watches and warnings are and what's going on. Still a hurricane when it starts to pass Hawaii. Still a hurricane. Should not become a tropical storm until 8 a.m. Monday morning. Now, it is located right now about 690 miles east-southeast of Honolulu, Hawaii. The winds are 110 miles per hour. The pressure, 28.73 inches. And it is moving west-northwest at 18 miles per hour. Now, watches and warnings. Tropical storm warning is in effect for Hawaii County and Maui County, including all of the islands you see here, right here. Hurricane watch in effect for Hawaii County and Maui County, including all of the very same islands. So, please be aware and please stay safe in this as we move down. The wind conditions are possible across portions of the main Hawaiian Islands late tonight through Monday. Tropical storm conditions are expected across Hawaii County and Maui County beginning tonight or early in the morning. You're going to have large swells generated by Douglas to affect the Hawaiian Islands all weekend. They're going to cause life-threatening surf and rip currents for a couple of days. So far as the rainfall goes, it's expected to affect portions of the main Hawaiian Islands from late tonight through Monday. Rain accumulations 5 to 10 inches, with locally higher amounts are going to be possible on the smaller islands, especially across the elevated terrain. Now, this rain may result in flash flooding and landslides, as well as rapid water level rises on the small streams. 3 to 6 inches of rainfall are possible on the Big Island, with locally higher amounts also possible. Please be aware of this, my friends in Hawaii. Please stay safe. This is the latest from the National Hurricane Center on the tropical update for all of these systems at this time. Everyone, be prepared, have a plan, stay safe. When the water starts to rise, please don't go out in it. It's very, very dangerous. I don't have to carry on about that. You already know. All my friends in Texas, I love you. God bless you. Stay safe. Same for my friends on the islands of the Windward Islands down around Tobago, Trinidad, and over in Hawaii. If any of you guys have any pictures or video that you would like to send me after the storms are over and it's safe for you to get them, please click Show More below the video. Scroll down. You'll find my email address to send them to. I would greatly appreciate it and like to share this information with everyone to let them know exactly what's going on in your areas. Thanks for all of my regular subscribers. I love you so much. And all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please click subscribe, click the bell, and check off all. Everyone stay safe, be blessed, and peace, love, and kindness to each and every one of you. Thanks for watching.